So I hope you understood this problem as well as the concept of Wheatstone bridge and the balanced Wheatstone bridge. Just Wheatstone bridge is nothing. If it is balanced, then it simplifies our circuit. So what we see here is that this was the question given, what you see here, right? This is what was given to us. But we simplified our question from this to this. And then we observed that these ratios 10, 10, and 10, they are proportional. That is 10 by 10 is equals to 10 by 10. Even if it is not 10, 10, 10, 10, if it is say here it was 40 and 40, even in that case it will be a balanced Wheatstone bridge, because again the ratio 10 by 10 is equals to 40 by 40, or 10 by 40 is equals to 10 by 40, right? So we just have to find this, and in such questions, if you find that, basically if you are able to get your circuit in this form, and you are able to, that is the kite form, and you are able to see that, or if the resistors are in such way that the two arms are the proportion, or the ratio of the two arms is same in the both the loop, then we say that the circuit is a, or the network is a balanced Wheatstone bridge. And as soon as it is a balanced Wheatstone bridge, so now this segment is gone, because there is no current flowing through that. So now whatever current flows through this goes completely through this. That means these two are in series. Same way these two are in series. So we use this concept to simplify the circuit. So like this, you may get some problems where you will have to solve problems like this. Okay, now let us see one more problem, one more type of problem. And this Wheatstone bridge is important, and its application is also important. That is when it is a balanced Wheatstone bridge. Okay, now let's move to our next question. On all these sections, there are some resistors on all the sections. Right? And the points are given, that is, this is A, this endpoint is B, this endpoint or starting point is C, this endpoint is D. We have to find RAD, that is between A and D, what is the total resistance, right? And all the resistors are 10 ohms. All R is equals to 10 ohms. So all of them are 10 ohms. We have to find the equivalent resistance. So all of them are 10 ohms. Better I'll write them as R. Okay, what do we have to find? We have to find between A and D, between point A and point D, what is the total resistance. So when we have to do that, we can see that C is, the current will flow like this. It will come here, it will get divided here, divided here. Now when it comes here, there is no continuity here. So obviously it won't, this thing will not be part of our circuit. And so we'll consider only this part. And the current here, again, it comes here and comes here, right? So again, this won't be part of our circuit. Now, if we do that, this is the simplification of this circuit is very easy now. Let us give some name to these junctions. A, B, C, D is already there. Then let this be E, F, G, and H. So when your path from A to D, so you have to find equivalent resistance, you become current and move along A to D. So how many paths are there from A to D? So first you move from A to E. There is no deviation there. A to E you have to move normally. Then from E you have two paths to go to G, right? So there is G here, and after G there is D, and between G and D there is a resistor. But from E to G there are two paths. First you go from E to F, and from F to G, and or so let this be F, or you move from E to H and then go from there H to G, right? And what do we have here? We have same resistors, right? So it is actually a very simple question. All of these are R, right? So this is R, this is R, this is R, 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 and R. All of these are R. So what will happen now? This is the simplified, this simplified to this. Now simplify this. So the section E, F, and G, E to F and F to G, that has actually how much? R and R. There is no division of current. So if there is no division of current, that means EF, these two R's are in series. Same way the bottom R's are in series. So this is actually like this. So there is a 2R here, there is a 2R here, R here, and R here. So now the 2R and 2R in parallel. Now simplify that. This which is in parallel, this will be equals to what? You have 2R, you have 2R. So its equivalent is R, right? So what will happen now? Now you will have from this, its equivalent is R. Earlier two were already R and R. So now total is how much? 3R. So R is how much? 10. So this total is 30 ohms. Right? So this is how you solve such problems. Now again, one more problem we'll solve, and we'll see how smartly these questions are actually framed. Right? You will see what is actually expected out from you while solving such problems. So a network is given like this, and then it has a triangle. Inside that, a line like this, another line like this, and these two meet, right? And suppose this meeting point is O, and then you have these 2 points A and B. You have to find resistance between A and B. And what all do you have? You have resistors here, resistors here, resistors here, here, and here. And all of these resistance are, all R is equal to 2 ohms. Now what do you have to find? You have to find resistance between A and B. Again, the same method we are going to follow. That is, we are moving from A to B. Now for that you will have to come to A to O, and then again we have two options. Let that be, say, P or Q. So from P or Q, you will have to come back to this point. Say this point is R, not R, because R we are using for resistance. So, and even not even take this CQ. Say these points are X, Y, and Z, right? So Now comes the simplification. So what we are doing now, from A, if this is A, from A you move to O, and at O you have two options. That is, you either go to X or you go to Y. And from X and Y, again you have two options. From X you come to Z, or from Y you come to Z. Right? This was O, this is Z. And from Z now you go to B. Correct? And between X and Y, again there is a path. Now here you have these resistors. So what do we get? Again we get what? A Wheatstone bridge. And it is again a balanced Wheatstone bridge, because all the resistors are same, so their ratios, right? Like OX divided by XZ will be equals to OY divided by YZ. So again, the wings have the wing above or wing down, or the two loops have the same resistance, or you can say the resistance. It actually satisfies this P by Q is equals to R by S. So when this is satisfied, that means what? That means this section is now no more. There is no current going through this. So what will happen now? There was a resistor R here, R here, R here, R here. So it will be 2R and 2R in parallel. So when you have 2R and 2R in parallel, you actually have total R. So R was equals to how much? It was, I think, all R's are 2. So this is equals to 2 ohm. So again, this problem is again based on just Wheatstone bridge, a balanced Wheatstone bridge. Thing is, you have to identify the Wheatstone bridge. If you are able to identify, you can apply that easily. So now, I think based on these things which we have studied yesterday and today. Yesterday we have seen the infinite ladder problem. We have also seen the circuits with symmetry, and today we have seen circuits with Wheatstone bridge. So based on these three, I'll send you some questions today. I haven't sent questions yesterday, but today I'll send them.